Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk and I'm reaching out to the student body. Okay, students, I know I told you that I was going to send you a video log, and I am sending one out to my CNS 110 students. Now, the reason I'm sending this out to you at this time is because you are on top of your work, you're handling your business, and I appreciate that. We got some slackers behind, but I know they're going to catch up, so I'm not even worried about that. But the majority of you are taking care of business. Now, I am going to still send this video log to my CNS CIS 210 students so they can see this too, because they need to know about this information too. Right now, you're looking at the college webpage that breaks down types of degrees. And most of you in our department, CNS CIS, will be going for an associate in applied science. Now, I could be wrong, but this pretty much is where I'm going to stick today. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. When you click on that, you'll notice that you have the computer networking and systems degree right here. So we're going to click on that. And that pretty much breaks down what this degree is about. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because I want you students to start being accountable on your classes. Just don't count on the counselors to check your classes. You need to check your classes every semester, because when you get close to graduation, you don't want no mishaps or no problems. I just got through with a student who did not realize that they had to replace a class. And it was good that the student reached out to me, because now they know that they have to replace the class, and they contacted the chair of the department, which is right here, and got the whole thing completed, and they okay getting ready to stay on path to graduation. Let's look at the degrees though. So as you can see in here, like I showed my Linux students, you got multiple classes. Now you can get a networking degree in Cisco networking or Cisco classes. You can also get an end user support certificate, but you got other degrees in here. I'm gonna focus on one of the degrees, and I'm gonna choose the networking security for now. I'm just gonna click on that. As you can see, bypassing all the gen eds and getting straight to the program, you can see the multiple classes right here. These Linux classes are electives, and you can utilize these. Like I was talking about the Linux classes, but they fully elective classes that will help you. You guys are working on one part of the operating system. You're working on the Windows part right here. And you're going to notice that it's a lot of other parts to it. So I'm going to go back to the other degree so you can see. If you was taking the computer networking and systems degree, you will see that it is a lot of different parts to that. You got server 1 and 2 in here. You got enterprise. All these are Windows systems mixed with AWS cloud systems. You got cloud computing, you got this and this. So all this plays a part in the Windows setup. So you want to leave out of this institution with real good, strong background in the Windows world, and also a stronger background in the Linux world. So let's go to the class now that we have that targeted. Right now, the class, you are, like I say, you guys are doing really excellent on the class. You have no problem. But what I want to do is jump into the actual coursework and take a look at that. So this is where you are doing the coursework. Now, today is my 0 day. I'm calling it 0 day because for those of you who don't know, 0 is a number. Yes, it is. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to click on here. And as you can see, I already went through and did most of this work here. I'm in here having fun, right? But I want you to get a brief understanding of how quickly I can go in here, do this work just like you. And don't say, hey, Professor, you've been doing it for years. No, no, no. A lab is a lab, and it's just time consuming, just like your lab would be. You have to do the work. So let's go ahead and get in here and do the work. Okay, so I'm gonna click on the first lab. Now, what I like to do with my labs to make sure I fully can focus on the lab is I like to copy the lab. So I'm going to take this lab here and copy it and go ahead and put it in a Word doc. The reason I'm going to do that is because I like to keep all my labs because I use my labs in the interviews. And as you can see, I'm moving over the Word doc over here. I like to keep my labs so when I go into an interview, I can speak towards every one of the labs that I have completed, give them a basic understanding of what the lab was about, the work that I did, etc., etc. So I can be one of the people that they say truly know what they're doing. So there go the lab. Now I'm gonna move this off the screen, but before I do that, basically I'm just exploring the lab interfaces, the different things within the lab. Every day from 0 till the end of this class, I'm gonna be doing a lab. I'm gonna be doing a Linux lab. I'm gonna be doing a Windows lab. So people, keep up, keep up. Let's do this. So to show you how simple and easy this lab is, it says the labs in this course uses Windows desktop and laptop computers. They also use Windows Server. Most of the labs you will use run as a virtual machine on a Hyper-V guest server. You're gonna learn all of those particular things. Now let's walk through this lab and pretty much the setup. So I'm gonna move that to the side because like I said, I like to keep my labs. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the lab. But it says right here to right click on the Windows app, go to settings. So I'm looking for settings now. That goes settings. And in the settings, it wants me to go, I'm already in systems, but it wants me to automatically go to answer a question. So up here, you see the questions. It says here from the top right, select the questions and answer question 1. And then memorize it. So I'm gonna go to question 1. It says here, which of the following can be configured from the system page? Select all that apply. So I see display, I see notifications, I see power, do we have date, and also remote desktop, but we don't have date. So then I just close it back because I'm done. I'm done. Now, don't let me kid you. Some of these labs will get hard, okay? I just want you to know that. Okay, so we just knocked out part 1. So now we're gonna move up to part 2, number 2 right here. Now it wants me to go to the power settings, which is here. And from the power settings, it wants me to click on screen and sleep. And it wants me to configure this to 30 minutes. And there it is. I just did that. We turned that into 30 minutes. Okay, so that's when the power goes out, it'll drop down to, in 30 minutes, it'll shut the computer down. Maybe you want to also go into your computer and do some of these tools. So let's go ahead and move to 3. I'm just showing you how quickly you can move through these assignments and then practice on your own computer. We're going to go to personal right here. From personal, we're going to answer another question. And the question says, which of the following are settings that can be configured from the personalized page? Select all that apply. So I'm going to come down here. Do I see apps? I do not see apps, but I'm sure I haven't looked at everything. Do I see background? Background is right there. Windows updates. Do I see Windows updates? Do I see colors? I see colors. I got colors. So only thing I don't see in here is apps and Windows update. So we can knock that out. I'm gonna go ahead and shrink that back down. And then I'm gonna move to the next one. Simple work, people, simple work, but you learning how to navigate around in the Windows application. Explore, control panel. So now we're gonna go to the control panel. So it says select the start, then in the search field type in control panel. So I'm gonna click on the start, and here I'm gonna type control panel. Now once you start typing, it'll bring up a list of things, and I see control panel right there, and it says click. Once you select type in control panel, under the best match, select control panel. So I see it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on it, and there it is. Now I got control panel. It says notice the settings that can be configured from your control panel. Okay, leave the control panel. So we notice it. But before I leave, I'm gonna blow that up, because if you were like me who come from the old school, you can change the settings to large icons and it'll show you all the different icons. Where now most IT people use the category settings. That's just something that I wanted to reference, so you'll know that if you can't find something in here, you just go ahead and change the settings to large icons, and that'll help you out too. That'll help you out better. That's how we used to do it back in the day. Now it says here on 5, let's go to 5 people. It says view the hardware in IT administration office. From the top left, select IT administration. So here go IT administration up here. So it's got me moving around. So I'm gonna click on that, and it says here in the IT administrator, you are shown the computers and other hardware found in the IT office. These are found under workplace. Now you see the different computers in here. It says use the scroll bar towards the bottom of the screen. So I can come to this scroll bar right here and move it down that way, come back this way. I see it's 1 and I see 2 computers in there. Okay, or you can use the plus icon to make it bigger. It's just showing you how to use these different tools to move around. And it says go answer the question. So I'm gonna come over here to the question, and this question says how many computers, and I got 2 of them. Yep, 2 computers, and then I'm gonna shrink that back down. Okay, so we took care of that. It says minimize the lab question box. Okay, we did that. On the monitor for the IT admin computer, click to view Windows 11. So I'm gonna go ahead and click right here on the monitor, and it's gonna give me Windows View 11. But guess what? You are brought back to the operating system for the IT admin. So we see that right there. Okay, now it says switch to corporate server and view Hyper-V. From the top left, select floor 1. So I'm gonna come up here, that go floor 1 right there. I'm gonna click on it. Now you see the overall view of the office. When you start working for an IT company, the IT manager will have something like this in his office, a map of where all the computers are located. And that will give you the opportunity to learn the different things about the computers in the organization. So it says here, open up question, answer another question. It says, what is the name of the computer in the lobby? In the lobby, I see that right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on it, GST Lab, and then I'm gonna shrink that back down. So we got that. And it says here, minimize the lab question dialog box under the networking closet and the server core. So we're gonna go over to the networking closet. We got server core. So this is your networking room. This is where everything will be at. We're gonna click on corp server right there, and it takes us to a server right here. Now, what we're gonna do is click on, since it's telling us exactly what to do, it's telling us to click on here, which is corp server. And in the corp server, it wants us to choose Corp DC. Okay, so I'm gonna double click on that and open that up. And we did that. So you saw that. So once you maximize the Hyper-V window for better viewing, notice the virtual machine that could be used. So you see this here, the virtual machine. Now that we clicked on it, let's go over here to tools. And from tools, we want to select one of these. It tells us that go ahead and select Corp Group Policy Manager. So I'm gonna come down here to Group Policy Manager. Now, for all of you who don't understand the significance of Windows, so you're gonna learn Windows Desktop, but we're gonna eventually take you into Windows Server. So that's all about operating systems. You have a network operating system, you have a desktop operating system, you have 2 platforms out there, what we call Windows and what we call Linux. It's another platform out there, but it's not for this particular class. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click on here which is the forest. The forest is the main server right here. So now we're going to come down from the forest and we're going to click on which one do we want to go to. So it says corporate net local. So I want to click on corporate net local, which is right here. And then I'm just going to open it up right quick. And it's, you got most of all these different things inside of that particular policy. And it says switch back to the computer and view exhibits. So I'm gonna go back to floor 1 because that's all it wanted me to do, was to look around in there. It don't want you to do anything now, but you're gonna learn about servers in this class, a little bit about servers in this class, but we're gonna proceed on into other classes to give you a deep knowledge of servers. Okay, so now we're back here, and this time we're gonna go to the administrator's desktop. And we're at the administrative desktop. Notice the control panel is still open. We see it's still open. But now I want to go ahead and finish this lab out. We don't want to make it too long. You see me clicking around. So let's go ahead and get this lab started. So the next part of this question, it asks us to go and take a look at answer question 5, which brings up the exhibit. So if I go here to the exhibit, it actually shows me IP address. This is the IP address right here. So that's 254. So I'm gonna come to the question and I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna go to 254. And that answers all the questions. So now I'm gonna go ahead and close the lab out, score it, and it tells me that I did everything correctly. You'll get a readout on everything you did. It would automatically transfer your grade over to me, but keep these labs, people, because these labs will be helpful in explaining how you can do work. So that's it for this particular section.